Hello everyone, it's Anya here. I'm back with another video for Ophelia Crafts. Today we're going to make quite a simple card because sometimes you need simple cards just to be able to have a nice flat card to send easily in the post, but also because it's just nice and easy. It's just stamping on this card. So for all you who love stamping, this is the card for you to make. Now, what are we going to use for this card? First of all, we're going to use the Pretty Print embossing folder. I know it's not current anymore, but a lot of people might have it, so you might be able to use it. If you don't have it, use your hexagon embossing folder, because that's a nice one as well to put in the background. I just like this one because it gives you the wording. It does look as if they're sort of in the wrong direction, but I don't mind. It's just to have something in the background. Then the main stamp set that I'm going to be using is a little kinda Eclectic. I love this stamp set. When I first looked at it, I thought, hang on a minute, these things don't go together. They're sort of kinda eclectic, get it? But in fact they go quite well together. Now I have today combined it with flowers because I wanted to do something in a flowery theme. So as you can see here, these images look like they're not sort of completely stamped. So I have this flower shop, and here there's a flower that does the same thing almost. So I've chosen that flower to go with this stamp set. I also have this flower in this tiny little dinky stamp, which I was given quite a while ago. So I don't know what the stamp set is called or whatever, but these are the two I'm going to be using. So it's just a matter of looking in your stamps and finding stamps that actually go with the stamp sets that you've already got, that you can then start combining into one card. That's basically what I did with this card here. I'm also going to use one of my favourite stamp sets, Flower Patch, the Happy Blooming Birthday image, because that's, I think, a quite nice image to go with this particular image on my card here. As you can see, those two little stamps, I used those for the inside as well, to give it a nice border on the inside, so that's what we'll be doing as well. Okay, so let's start with our card. I have a card base of 8 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I've scored it at 4 1/8. Okay, and I'm going to fold it towards the mountain. This is Hello Honey. I'm going to be using the in colours, and I'm also going to be using, apart from Hello Honey, Blackberry Bliss and Mossy Meadow from the in colours, I'm going to be using Crumb Cake and Rich Razzleberry. Okay, so we've got our card here. Okay, then we're going to start with our mat for the top of our card. That's very vanilla, and that is cut at 4 1/4 and 5 1/4. No, that's not right. Can that be right? Yeah, probably. It's just 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card itself. Okay, and I'm going to take my embossing folder and I'm going to ink it up on the raised side. All I do is I just go over it like this. This is my inside bit. We're going to just put that to the side. And I'm going to put my embossing folder on top of my card like this, and just gently press down, and that will create the background. You have to do it again because you can't do it in just any direction, because you need the lines of the wording. There we go. Okay, so this can just be cleaned as you normally would, or just with some water and a cloth. Okay, so we're now at this stage. I also daubed the edges a little bit, so I will get out my dauber for my crumb cake, and I will just edge the edges here with some crumb cake. I used the Hello Honey cardstock because I wanted a bright card this time. I didn't want to go too dark, and as I'm also using the Hello Honey in my stamping, it then sort of coordinates nicely. Go in a little bit on the corners. Okay, there we go. That's that. So now we're going to stamp the largest image in Hello Honey. I'm experiencing that this is quite a difficult stamp to ink up. So what I've been doing is going like this. That way there's not too much ink. Can you see the ink pooling there? Can you see it making little well, that's circles. Well, that's not what you don't want that. Now it's not doing it. That's now the time to stamp. When I found those pools of ink on there and I stamped it, they came out in the ink, and this way, look, I now have a even smooth image, and before I had pools of ink on there. So you need to just keep inking it on and off until you see that it's not, the ink is not pooling on there, so you can have a nice crisp image. Okay, then we're going to go on to the Mossy Meadow leaves, and we are going to do some stamping. We're going to stamp twice with the same image. So once, and then you stamp it again, and you have a lighter image. Now I always try, when I do this, to make sure that I don't go off the page the first time I stamp it, because in the second time you'll see that. So you will have a line going through there, and you will see that it still has more ink on some parts, and then if you stamp it again you will see the difference. So you want to try and avoid that. The way to avoid it as well is to see, now I'm going off the page, so if I was to go like this now, look, I would have a darker bit here, and that's what I want to avoid. So now this time I'm going to have to ink up, stamp off, and stamp. Okay, otherwise I would have had an image with two different colours, and I really didn't want that to happen. So we're now at the stage where we're going to start stamping our flowers. So I've got the flower from the other set, from the mixed bunch, from the flower shop set, and I'm going to stamp that one in Rich Razzleberry. So I'm going to put this flower nicely in the middle of my branches, so it doesn't look like they're starting anywhere. Right? So I only need one of these. Then we're going to go on to the little one in the Rich Razzleberry as well. And I'm just going to place them anywhere, really. Okay. Oh, no. So, sorry, that was Blackberry Bliss. Now I'm going to open my Rich Razzleberry because I want a gradation of colour, but just doing it twice doesn't really do it for me. So let's put this in there. I'm now going to have a go on here. Right, so I didn't clean my stamp. I just went on to the other one, so we'll just... There we go. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, let me just turn over my... Oh, and I got some green on there. Never mind. There we go. So that's a nice way of doing that. Let me put some more flowers on here. Try and hide the mistake. There we go. That's nice. Okay. So that's the middle. Then we're going to do some Rich Razzleberry flowers on here. That will give me a gradation of colour of my flowers on my front of my card. There you go. And they don't look different now, but by the time they've dried up, like on here, there will be quite a difference in the colour. Okay, so we're now going back to, let me see, because I get very confused with all these dark ink pads. Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to ink up my Happy Blooming Birthday from my Flower Patch stamp, and I'm going to stamp it on there. There we go. And I'm going to repeat this on the inside of the card as well. Right, and now, oh, I better close up these colours because already I've got them on my fingers. And now all we need to do is add some small leaves, because it's a bit plain like this, so I want to add a few small leaves on there, on the inside. There we go, so that makes it nice for your inside as well. So I think it's ready. I think it's time to start assembling. So this will go there and this will go here. Very simple. Let's get some glue out and let's do the inside first. I always make sure I stamp my cards with the stamp saying that they were made with the Stampin' Up materials, so it says Stampin' Up on my cards as well. Okay, so we're going to have this one. Now this, you could also give it a Blackberry Bliss matte on here, so you'd have the Hello Honey, then the Blackberry Bliss, and then this. But to be honest, I just wanted to make a fairly simple card with lots of stamping that would be easy to send in the post, because some of us have people living across the world, and I have sent cards before that had something sticking up, and although I do love cards with sort of dimension, sometimes it did make it difficult for them to be delivered because it took weeks and weeks and weeks for them to be delivered. So this one, a very flat card with lots of stamping for those of you who love stamping. Right, okay, so if you would like to get the materials that are used in today's card, then please visit opheliacrafts.stampinup.net and watch out for more videos, because tomorrow we're using the same stamp set, but I'm going to make a different card using the same components. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Bye!